Now, meanwhile, flood victims in the community of Irvine are finally getting some help, but it's not from the Alberta government's disaster program. A group of volunteers from Baptist churches in the Calgary and Cochrane areas have arrived in the small community to help clean up homes damaged in flooding 2.5 months ago. Terry Vogt reports.
This isn't how most people spend their vacation or seem like a way to celebrate your first anniversary. But that's just what this couple's doing.
I'll kiss him anyways.
They're among a group of volunteers from 5 Baptist churches in the Calgary-Cochrane area. They're spending a week in Irvine cleaning up homes that were damaged by flooding last June.
God's given us a heart to just come down and help these people.
Members of the Canadian National Baptist Convention have done this kind of work before, after Hurricane Katrina and following severe ice storms in Quebec. This time the need is closer to home.
It's heart-wrenching to see. You've got families here that are living in trailers that have basically had their lives pulled out from underneath them. There's just nothing left of their homes. They've had all their treasures are gone.
And some of the local residents, people like Frank Pulaski, say if it wasn't for family and friends,
I'd be living in a tent in the ditch.
Pulaski says he's received money for food, clothing and fuel from the Red Cross. But he says the government disaster program won't cover the cost of fixing the foundation and basement, never mind repairing the rest of the house. Earlier this summer, he was told by one disaster official, "We feel for you."
And now it's 2.5 months, and they're still feeling for us, and still no word, nothing.
We hear the need, and it touches our hearts, and somebody needs to be helping these people. So we're glad we got to come. It's fulfilling for us, and we end up actually leaving being more blessed than I think the people really.
Fantastic. I love them. I want to give them all a hug, kiss, do whatever I can.
And for the volunteers, cleaning up is just part of the job. The other part, maybe the most important part, is listening, because they say everyone has a story. The volunteers say it's hard to believe that in a province like Alberta, 2.5 months after the rainstorm, there is still so much work that needs to be done. Terry Vogt, CTV News, Irvine.
The Alberta Emergency Management Agency has now opened an information centre in Irvine to help people through the claims process. It's located near the general store. You can get information on a number of agencies, including Red Cross, Health Services and Employment Services. The office is open Monday to Saturday from 11 a.m. until 6 p.m. It's the last day of August.
Medicine Hat. This is the Prairie Zone. Chat News.
Hello and welcome to the Chad Evening News. A devastated region, a daunting cleanup, and a community struggling to stay afloat after June flooding. 11 weeks ago, water ravaged hundreds of homes in the Irvine area. Now a handful of provincial agencies have set up shop in the rural community, vowing they will not leave until all concerns have been addressed. Yet only 34% of compensation applicants are actually holding checks, and most say the minor cash will not help. So where does the community stand almost 3 months and one cross-agency office later? Scott Cunningham takes a look.
Irvine rancher Robin Batten has been looking for answers and hopes today she may find them inside this building. On a well-traveled corner in Irvine sits the Cross Ministry office. Inside are representatives from Alberta Agriculture, Health Services, Housing and Employment. Groups together the province hopes can deal with the harrowing disaster Irvine citizens have lived through.
The whole line is washed away.
However, some say it isn't soon enough.
It's good to a certain aspect, but it should have been done 11 weeks ago when we had the disaster.
For Richard Chatfield, flooding has meant no home for his family and only one check from the province, totaling $1,900.
Until people start actually getting aid on the ground, it's just a PR thing.
I think people just want to talk.
For Tim Chander, the partnership of government agencies dealing with Irvine flood claims is not about public relations. It's about face-to-face contact with people who can fix local problems.
They can come here, talk to somebody, or we can put them in touch with somebody and help them out if we can. And we'll stay here. As long as the demand's here, we will be here.
Meanwhile, walking shoulder to shoulder down Irvine Main Street is another group trying to rebuild the flood-stricken community. The Southern Baptist arrived Sunday without government ties, asking for nothing but the opportunity to help.
quite frankly, it's dirty work. It's not pleasant. These are hardworking folks who have a regular job to do, and we're just here to help them out.
Scott Cunningham, Chat News.